Inspired and tired, that's the gist of our podcast. Inspired, but we're tired. Should we create or should we take a nap?
Create.
Nap. We should definitely nap.
Chase, we're doing the show.
That's right. Of course we're doing the show. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah. Inspired and Tired with your hosts, Chase and London.
Hi, everybody. We are back with Inspired and Tired with Chase and London.
I'm Chase.
And I am London.
And we're so happy to be here with you. If you're new here, this is a podcast where we've been talking about how to live a creative life, how to unblock if you feel blocked as an artist. And we've been going through the artist's way.
And we have made it to week 11.
I have to say, this podcast, like actually talking about it each week, the accountability is so good because I need accountability in my life. And if we weren't talking about this on air, I don't know if I would have made it to week 11.
I know, me neither. And also reading it this time through, it really is hitting differently.
Every time I read it, because I've said
done
this
it
before.
a lot. She's
I've done
done
this
it a
since
lot.
2012, I think. And I have so many underlines and highlights and things. And I'm like, oh, that's what I underlined?
I know,
like,
it sticks differently.
That's what I was focusing on at that time in my life. So yeah, it's been interesting what resonates now.
I agree. And this chapter was really great. If you are starting, go ahead and go back to the beginning of our podcast so you can start with us on week 1. But in week 11, it is recovering a sense of autonomy, and we examine the ongoing ways in which we must nurture and accept ourselves as artists. But before we get into this, let's kick it off with the most ultimate artist date that Miss Chase Elaine O'Donnell got to have this weekend.
London, I'm so glad you want to kick it off with that.
I want to because Chase not only, well, I'll let you share. What did you do?
Okay. I'm so excited to talk about it. I went to the Taylor Swift concert.
Woo!
I'm wearing a Taylor Swift t-shirt, if you weren't able to tell. I went solo.
The ultimate artist date.
It was the ultimate artist date. I got the ticket the day before because, so I watched the concert on YouTube. There's like bootleg versions of it. And I thought that would be enough.
And you were very satisfied. I feel like after watching the bootleg, you were like, this was great.
Wow, this was amazing. But it also made me want to be there even more because if you don't know, I'm a Swiftie. I'm not just someone that like, oh, I want to go to a concert that's like in the news and people are talking about. No, I want to go because
you're actually a fan.
Oh my God. I'm actually a fan. So she added 3 more days to the tour and I was in town and the tickets were a little cheaper because they were newly added. And I justified it being like, I'm going to not spend money this month. So we'll see how I do.
Good luck with that. But you loved it.
Oh my gosh. I showed up and I think I was the only one that went alone there. Everyone had friends.
There's a chance. Now, I bet there were others.
Out of the 70,000.
Yeah, I'm sure you weren't the only one.
But I cried.
Of course.
Through a lot of it. And there were like 2 teenagers sitting next to me. I want to say 13.
Mm-hmm.
And they were taking pictures and all this stuff. And I was like, hi, do you guys mind taking a picture of me? And they like were like, sure. And so they like were very aware I was alone. And then they were like, what is this like woman
crying
doing here alone, just crying through the concert? And then I like, some of the songs are just so beautiful. I sat down and started
weeping.
No, I started meditating. And I was just closing my eyes and just having like a meditation. And I was like, I bet these girls next to me think that like I tired myself out from all the crying that now I'm taking a nap.
Well, luckily they had Taylor to focus on and probably weren't paying as much attention to you as you thought.
I just was getting a kick out of what these girls thought of me.
That's
because
so
it was
funny.
really random. But she gave you your money's worth. Like,
that's what I hear.
It was pretty much, I spent $100 an hour to see her.
Right.
And it's worth it. I spend over that for therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So she really put on a show at like 10 o'clock. I'm like, surely it's about to end. I didn't get out of there till midnight.
Wow.
She went through every album. She performed like 45, 50 songs. And it was
fun.
The energy in the crowd. I've never experienced 70,000 people in one room. I've never experienced
we went to the
that.
Rolling Stones there, right?
It didn't even compare. That was like amateur compared to what this was. And I also had the thought, and I someone validated this on TikTok. I could believe that 70,000 people were there to see Taylor Swift. I don't know how football games fill up a stadium. I didn't know that many people would go see football.
Huh. I never thought about that.
That many people are fans of football?
I mean,
That's
it's been around for a while.
That's what I couldn't get over.
Interesting. That's a deep
There's no
TikTok
way.
thought.
There's no way.
It really gets me thinking.
There's no way that many people go see football.
I've never been to a professional football game.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Nor do I have any
No, I
desire.
don't care. Anyways.
But I get the Super Bowl maybe.
Yeah, that's
But
a big
like,
one.
Are they filling 70,000 people in a crowd every game? No, there's no way, right?
We'll have to look into that more because I do not know.
No. Okay, we're getting a head shake. No.
All right, no. Well,
anyways, that was magical. I did tell myself to really soak in the moment because I don't think anything in my life will be able to top that experience. Not even my wedding day.
maybe
Not
your
even my firstborn.
child.
Not even.
No.
So I really don't know how anything tops what I experienced. on
That was some
Tuesday.
deep meditation going on there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it's gonna my life has a lot to life events have a lot to live up to after that.
It's a standard. And your artist date surpasses mine like a millionfold because I took a walk.
Okay, how was it?
It was great. In the chapter we'll go through it more, but like she talks about a lot about exercise and getting outside and just like listening to the birds.
Yeah.
And I did all that while you were over there bopping to Taylor Swift crying your eyes out. But yeah, I'm happy you got to do that.
That's a much cheaper way to go for an artist.
The walk,
date.
yes.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things in my life will surpass that walk when it comes to excitement levels. So,
Well, anyways, thanks for letting me talk about it.
Had to.
And now let's kick off the chapter.
The chapter, week 11, recovering a sense of autonomy.
I don't even know what that
Me
means.
neither. I was
going to
say, I think autonomy means like yourself, recovering a sense of oneself, but I'm no thesaurus, so
that's beautiful.
that's what I took it as.
Okay, so the first thing starts with acceptance. What I summed it up with, because it starts with like about money. Basically, make art to create, don't make art to pay the bills, is what she's saying.
Yeah, and she talks about some people are more creative when they have a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes people are more creative when they don't.
And she's like, figure out how that's going to work for you. She was like, sometimes if you have a 9-to-5, then you're too tired to create. But sometimes with a 9-to-5, it gives you the structure.
Right. And the stability of having a paycheck. So you're just making art to make art.
Yeah.
And it frees up that side of you. So I really liked that.
I did too. She was like, play around, see what works for you. You had a 9-to-5. Well, you had your job at Apple, which isn't necessarily 9-to-5.
It was. What do you mean? It was sometimes 8:30 to 5:30. Yeah. But a 9-to-5,
but that's
and I
what you
loved
did
it.
while you were
Starting out.
Whereas I was babysitting, I was working coat check,
Dog walking.
I was dog walking, I was your assistant, I was
PA.
I've never had a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And I think that would just be beautiful for me.
But this gives you, both sides can work. So
Yeah.
it's figuring out what works best for you and what frees up that creativity inside of you. But mainly what you said, like the value of your work is not determined by how much people pay for it. It's like creating to create is the most important thing of all.
She used this as an example, but I'd never heard of this artist. Gauguin. Do you know
what
who
did
that
Gauguin
is?
do? No.
The idea that money validates my credibility is very hard to shake. If money determines real art, then Gauguin was a charlatan.
You know, I think it's like one of those, you know, is it Van Gogh cut off his ear, never made money until after his death, and his art like gains value after that. So I think it's, you know.
They're saying like as an artist, you might never have a home that looks like
Town and Country.
Yeah, home. Yeah, Town and Country.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you may have a book of poems, a song, a piece of performance art, a film. And who doesn't want a book of poems?
You Freudian slip.
Instead
who
of
doesn't want a home?
Yeah. Who doesn't want a book of poems instead of a beautiful home? So,
I mean, we're on to something there. So yeah, writing to write, not whether it will sell or not.
Yeah,
and I think that's so important.
Your credibility as an artist is not determined by if your art sells. It's determined by what lies between you, God, and your work, and just doing the work, which is really lovely.
It really is.
It's a lovely little sentiment.
But I do feel devastated for Van Gogh never getting to experience his success.
I do too.
Being this tortured soul.
I feel so devastated.
And then,
for him.
but now, what do you think? His spirit looks down over.
That's what I like to think.
I do too. But
he did the work.
He did the work. That's what matters.
He had a book of poems,
or two,
metaphorically.
Yeah.
But he was miserable.
That's, I mean, miserable he cut his ear off.
He could have used the artist way.
He could have, but too bad this didn't come out till the 80s.
I actually think it was 91.
Oh.
You keep referring to as the 80s.
Well, this sounds so dated. I feel like it has to be before I was born.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have to let ourselves draw badly to get to the other side, or write badly, or paint badly, or perform badly. And I really liked this because in order to kind of like get off this plateau of what you're comfortable with, you need to just try to do something to shake it up, spin it around.
London, I too wrote this down.
Yeah.
This too spoke to me. She says, allow your artist, which your inner artist is a child, and allow it to play. So that means allow it to make bad art. I put parentheses around bad.
Yeah.
Or quotes, but make bad art. And when you let yourself make bad art, then your inner artist is going to let you do the adult stuff. Like it's going to let you write the business letter and do the stuff that you have to do as an adult.
Because you're still being creative and still putting yourself out there and expressing yourself in some way. So then you feel like you can get along and do the other things.
Yes. So be good. Nurture your inner artist, and then your inner artist will let you handle more of the adult tasks that need to get done in life.
Which I really think is true. Sometimes I just gotta sit on the couch and crochet a little in order to get my juices going.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking I really do want to allow myself to, I think every time I write something, I'm like, well, this better be good.
Maybe you say, this better be bad.
Yeah.
And see.
Yeah. And like I was thinking too, like as kids, like I used to make up dances all the time. Just in the living room, I would put on a song and choreograph a dance.
Didn't matter if it was good or bad.
Was I trying to go viral on TikTok? No.
It didn't exist.
I was just making up dances for fun. When's the last time I've done that?
I mean,
when this book was written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Man.
So she also, though, talks a bit about artists and how they're like wacky, crazy, kooky people.
Yeah.
And we can be like that. You can dress however you want. You may be bad at cleaning the house, but you may be great at like drawing straight lines and doing funky things. Like, to be an artist, we don't have to fit inside of this like stereotypical box of what the right way to be a person is, which I really like. Let yourself shine. Paint your nails in a funny way. Wear your makeup in an unusual way because that's what you like. And I really have always enjoyed kind of being off the beaten path and not doing things the right way. And I like that she's giving us permission to do that.
I do too. I really like that. Did you jump ahead?
No.
What page are you on?
180.
Oh, fabulous.
You jumped ahead.
Well, I couldn't find where that was. I didn't write that down.
I am an artist. I may frizz my hair or wear weird clothes. I may spend too much money on perfume in a pretty blue bottle, even though that perfume stinks, because the bottle lets me write about Paris in the 30s.
Oh, and I highlighted right under it. I said, as an artist, I write whether I think it's any good or not. I shoot movies other people may hate. I sketch bad sketches to say I was in the room, I was happy, it was May, and I was meeting somebody I wanted to meet. So it's just like do the work because, or like do the art, do the creative stuff just to do it, not if it's going to be good or bad.
Yeah, your hair can be frizzy, it can be straight, just do the work.
And your self-respect comes from doing the work, one performance at a time, one gig at a time, throughout it all, daily. Show up at the morning pages, write about
the ugly curtains,
my rotten haircut, my delight in the way the light hits the trees in the morning run. These is we're quoting Julia
that one's
Cameron.
pretty. My delight in the way the light hits the trees on the morning run.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But come on, she hates her curtains.
She always talks about her curtains.
She always complains about her curtains. Get new curtains.
She talks about the smell of her curtains.
I know.
Like she
needs to iron the curtains.
Yeah.
The curtains are ugly. Get new curtains.
Get new curtains or get rid of them.
Yeah. Let the sun shine.
So anyways, yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. When you fail to nurture your artist child within, because you're acting like what a quote unquote adult should act like, you're killing your artist within.
Which you don't want to do.
You don't want to do that.
That's not why we're here.
Spoil the artist so that you can then like create the work you want to work.
Creativity is oxygen.
Beautiful, London.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. Next page.
We go into success.
This was interesting.
This was. So success, which really is, can be so evil. Because when you get success, it disappears. It's hard to maintain success just at that level. You always hear like people are like, oh, I need like 30,000 followers. Oh, but then so many people have 100,000 followers, and then you get 100,000 followers and you need 200,000 followers, and that like level of success, it disappears even though you are achieving things because your standards become higher and higher.
And then there's a point where you like reach this plateau, she says, and you're like, you go, what now? And
can I rest?
No, she says
no. Which
she
I was
says
shocked.
no. Me too.
I circled that because
I
I was
too.
like, weren't we talking about everyone needs a break?
She says if you don't continue creating, like basically what she's saying is if you're like, what now? And you kind of just stop, that's it. You have to keep showing up at your morning pages. You have to keep being creative for eventually another
whether or
idea
not
to
it's
come.
quote unquote bad what you're making,
But
you
keep-
still need to create,
keep
which
playing.
I found that very interesting.
But now she talks a lot about like as an artist, you might find commercial success if you're lucky. It's just like a luck of the draw. You might find this commercial success and then you go, oh, now I can afford this home in town and country.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, look at this lifestyle I have now. So let me continue keeping up with this commercial success. And you kind of keep the same formula and you're just now on repeat doing this
the
formula.
same thing that worked for you before. And I've fallen into this trap too. It's like, these are the types of jobs that pay well. This is the type of art that gets people excited. This is what I need to be doing. So then there's no reason for you to change. But
you're not growing. That's when
it
you're going to
stagnant.
plateau. That's when you're not going to find any inspiration.
Okay, last night I watched a documentary. Do you remember the app HQ?
No.
It was this like game that would come on every day for like an hour and people could win money. And it was like a live game and they kept doing the same thing over and over again. And they hit like 2 million people watching. And that was their top, but they kept doing the same thing. So obviously it's going to get old. People are going to get bored. And it ultimately died. So we have to continue to like reinvent ourselves And she
Not
says,
just do what, oh, this video got me 1 million views, so let me repeat this video now in a different way 100 times. It's
and
like,
then people start copying you, doing what you're doing because that's what you've been doing, and more people start to do that, and then it becomes less exciting. I always think we kind of need to be on the forefront. We want to keep pushing the boundaries, be the one that's like trying new things, putting new things out there.
I feel like you have seen a lot of like that in your own career, where you were very much one of the first people putting crochet art on fences. And now, like, I get texts all the time from people being like, I think I saw your sister's work. And I'm like, oh, that's a copycat.
Oh, you don't have to say copycat, though, because I don't think of it like that.
Oh, I say copycat.
Oh, come on. I think I'm inspiring
You are.
people.
But all I mean to say is, like, your style. It's
Yes.
very specific to your style. It's not copycatting if it's art on a fence, but it's like it looks exactly how you do it.
Which is so flattering, getting to like create something and define something. But it does get to the point where if you then keep doing it over and over again, there's nothing new. It's boring. So you've
Right.
gotta like
And so
push it.
That's what she says, like, take risks. Don't just rely on like, oh, this paycheck. And she's like, I get it. Like, a movie comes out and it's a huge box office hit, so now they're making the sequel and they're making another sequel and it's all about this brand, but that's never like, it's never for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
Usually not as good as the first.
I was gonna say it's not as
Except
good.
I did love Shrek too.
Legally Blonde 2, not nearly
No.
as good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Barbie
You
2,
liked
but
Shrek
no way.
2?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
So what she says is, as artists, we are spiritual sharks. If we don't keep moving, we sink to the bottom and die.
I circled this.
Yeah, that is dark.
That's her saying you can't take a break from your artist.
Or else you sink to the bottom
like
and
you've
die.
got to keep being creative.
going.
But like we've said in all these other chapters, being creative isn't just like writing a play. It's
And getting paid for it.
it's being creative is changing the sheets.
Yes.
Like she's very simple about what creativity is.
Yes. One thing I learned, actually, did you know the number one animal or species that people die from a year is mosquitoes? Sharks, like 7 deaths in a year.
Oh, no, I knew that.
Yeah, it's like way down. Mosquitoes is like,
Oh, well,
I don't want
yeah.
to improperly
Well, they
quote,
have,
but
like,
like at least
diseases.
hundreds of thousands and thousands and thousands.
And I get bit by them all the time.
Oh, no. Anyways, it just reminded me of sharks. Don't be scared of them, kids.
No. Okay, thank you. Good PSA.
I know. They get a bad rap.
I know.
It's so bad.
It's too bad.
So yeah, an artist cannot replicate prior success indefinitely. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. This chapter, this part of the chapter, I don't feel like I'm there yet. I don't feel like I've reached a plateau where I'm like, what now?
Well, you can't just keep doing the same hour set that you're comfortable with over and over and over again.
right.
You got to write new jokes. You got to keep pushing things forward.
Don't remind me. Okay, you're right.
Right?
And then also I've been doing these musicals in real life,
Yeah.
which I have so much fun doing.
I love them.
But I'm on number 25 and one of the comments went, 25? Really?
Were they counting?
Well, I put part 25.
25. Gotcha. Oh, no.
Really? Like, we already get it. We get it.
So, honey, you've been there.
I'm like, do I stop?
No.
Okay.
You can't let the bastards get you down.
Okay.
You know what we learned.
Okay. So anyways, yes, I actually, maybe I this chapter is good. I guess I'm not at the point where I'm making money.
That's okay.
I'm paying a lot more money than making it.
Taylor Swift was in a spiritual experience, okay? Okay.
So anyways, no town and home yet, but I've got a book of poems.
Yeah, that's all that matters, okay?
We're on to my favorite part.
What?
The Zen of sports.
Oh, yeah. This one was really fun because we learned a lot about a lot of people. Did you know I rode my bike here today?
No, what? No, you didn't. I saw your car.
Yeah, according to Julia, commuting to work on a bike is great, which I agree.
I agree, but
Yeah,
I mean,
this would have been a little too far.
4 freeways on a bike?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that'll make it on the news.
Okay, so the Zen of sports, she's basically saying, and we'll get into each person. We learn a lot about Jenny. We learn a lot about Eve, Babbitts, Martha. There's a lot. Basically, she's saying like being creative is a physical act. It's not just a cerebral act. And a lot of times when you have a activity that you do regularly, like swimming, riding a bike, running, it's
like a moving meditation.
It's a moving meditation. I don't see, back to football, I don't think this would work if you were playing football.
No, that's a group activity.
It has to be a solo.
I don't watch
It's a group one. There's about 12 of them out there. Okay. So I think that it has to be like a solo sport that you can do and kind of get in the zone. And she was like, by doing that, all of a sudden ideas will come to you. And we've talked about this on like previous chapters.
Yeah, even just
going on a walk
or whatever.
It's one of those things where you're like, in the shower, ideas come. Driving a car, ideas come. But she says ideas come when you are in the zen of sports.
And I think it's important, too, when you're doing this. I used to run without my headphones on. So, like, not cluttering your mind with a podcast, unless it's this one. Or, like, listening to anything besides, like, maybe your favorite album. But like something you don't have to focus on so much so that you can be present and in the moment, because then you can notice the glisten of the sun behind the trees, or the bird that's, the cat peering out, all the things that everyone sees.
She talks about Jenny, like on her run, she saw a blue heron and she saw it soaring in the sky. And then she went to work and her boss asked her to do something.
Stay late.
She said, of course I can, because she was still on a high.
Thinking about the bird.
Looking at that bird.
So, I mean, I get it. It also is funny when she says, although her distances have gradually increased her.
Yeah, and her thighs have decreased.
I can't even read it because it's so funny.
Jenny would not call herself an athlete. She does not run in marathons, although her distances have gradually increased and her thighs have gradually decreased.
But the whole point is these are not supposed to be for getting slimmer.
This isn't for weight loss.
This is not a weight loss tip.
But there are perks. But there are perks.
I can't even. It was so funny.
She runs for her soul. Not her body. And then Eve Babbitts. She's a novelist, but she also is a swimmer. And as she's
tall, blonde, and generously curvy as the freeways in LA.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
I missed that. Babbitt swims in order to direct the traffic flow of her own overcrowded mind.
I love swimming. It's just not practical for me because I don't have a pool. But I would do it if I could.
I love swimming too. Our parents have a pool at their apartment building, but like I don't want to.
There's always so many people in it, and for me it's quite a drive. So for me, the walk is the easiest way. It gets me out. I like to call it a constitutional, which is a 15-minute walk just to clear your mind.
A walk around the block.
Get outside, walk around the block, come back home, and go. That's why
Martha says it's her time to let her imagination roam and work out problems. And same with you, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Martha's the bicyclist.
She's a bike rider.
But also a carpenter. So she solves all her problems when she's on her walk.
Yep.
Horseback riding is another one.
Yep. Libby, a painter and horseback rider.
What is Jerry? Jerry's a confirmed city dweller, so his country walks are limited to perusing window boxes and pocket gardens. So it doesn't. You can live in the city or the country. You can still do your little zen of sports. So that one was just fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's like it really brings you into the present, which is why I love like street art, because when people are doing their zen of sports, if I can provide any little glisten of their day, like, oh, look at that.
Right.
Makes
you
me
love
happy.
to like bring someone into the present moment.
Unexpected
when they see your
joy.
art. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing is building your artist altar, which again, this is something we've talked about.
We've kind of done. It's where you decorate your desk with cute things that make you happy, clear out a corner of your room with, candles and just pretty things. And remember that it's like you're a kid. Your artist enjoys, quirky, interesting things.
Your artist does.
Oh, yeah? Yours
My
doesn't?
artist enjoys really zen, like a plant.
Don't
and
you love like little fairy tchotchkes and
I don't like anything to be
Cluttered.
like cluttered. I like it really, like if I have a fairy tchotchke, which I don't at the moment, it would be one. It
Okay.
wouldn't be a collection.
I got like a dinosaur planter with a little wool sheep and like
Yeah.
a little anime character figurine.
Oh, that's so London.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
to a
that's
Christmas
your
tree
artist.
candle and a peace sign. It's very cluttered.
Where is that?
It's sitting in my art studio, like I have a bookshelf and I have one cabinet that you kind of can peer into, and it's all
Do you
my
have
favorite
an
things.
artist altar at your house?
I don't. And during this chapter, I was thinking I maybe need to carve one out.
Because I was thinking, because I don't share a room with a boy. I just have my own
I mean,
room.
I don't need to do it in my room. I can do it somewhere else in the house.
But I was thinking like, oh, that's so easy for me because my room is what I can make of it. But I think most people share a room. And what do you do?
Okay, one time when we first were doing the Artist Way, 2014, long time ago.
Yeah. Who were you living with?
I was living with Eric and Charlene.
Okay.
But I didn't have a serious boyfriend. And one time...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this.
A
boy came over.
I had all of my signs posted up. I had collages everywhere.
It was I am
a precious
beautiful
artist.
Yeah.
All my affirmations. He didn't mind.
Well, really?
He didn't stay in the room very long, but...
Yeah, London just had all of her affirmations up and the guy saw.
Yeah, I was so embarrassing. I didn't even think about it until...
Yeah, whoops.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, so when you have your own room, it's definitely easy to make that your artist altar. When you're sharing an apartment, where would you put it?
I mean, like, I have my own bathroom. I could do, like, a pretty shelf in my bathroom.
Yes.
Or I have corners.
You have corners.
I have space.
Okay.
And I was thinking I should bring it into the home.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I do it in the bathroom.
I mean, I could.
Make an artist altar in the bathroom.
I see it every day.
Yeah.
So we like pretty leaves, rocks, candles, sea creatures. Oh, sea treasures. Both are good.
Oh, I circled that too.
Yeah.
In the same paragraph, it says small rituals, self-devised, are good for the soul. Burning incense while reading affirmations, lighting a candle, dancing to drum music, holding a rock and listening to Gregorian chant.
Love that one.
You do?
I mean, just hold a rock and listen to chants.
I really like that one.
Yeah, no, I think it's nice.
All of these tactile, physical techniques reinforce spiritual growth.
Your artist is a little kid.
So... As
a
a kid, you have the seashells and you have the fun music and you just, you do whatever your little artist, London likes dinosaurs and feathers.
I guess so. Yeah, I have candles with feathers sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fun.
It is. This was a fun chapter. We actually got through it faster than I thought, but it was a really fun one.
Yeah.
And stuff sticks with me, like, don't stop.
Yeah.
You must create.
What this stuck with me, maybe I didn't say it. There was one part where it was like, we're always beginners.
Yeah.
Like
once you have that big success, instead of like plateauing, go back to the space of being a beginner.
So what this resonated with me with stand-up comedy is, have I been in a rut? So
literally last podcast you talked about doing a 10-minute set of new material and you had more. But
yeah, and remember I told you it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So anyways, the idea of doing another like hour of comedy that has to be as good as what I've been working on the past like 7 years. Mm-hmm. Is really daunting and it's really scary, and I don't have the belief system yet that I can do it again. Mm-hmm. And what she says is every time you finish a project you have to let yourself be a complete beginner again. So I'm just starting over. It doesn't have to be as good. It can be at that beginner level and take another 7 years.
No, it won't this time.
I
will not. You will get it. And once you do it again, you're going to be like, oh, once I've done this before, now I can do it again.
That's the thing. I watched Christina P on tour. she filmed her hour special last January, and the next time we went on the road
She was
was a
rocking.
few months later, and she had a whole new hour, which like I was so impressed with. And she does say like, you just you learn much quicker how to just like form a joke, but
Yeah.
but it's been difficult for me, so that's where I'm at. I'm having to be a beginner.
That's a very good takeaway. And with the when you're in kind of a drought, instead of just stopping, keep going. I have been having so much fun. I'm making a huge crochet step and repeat for my wedding.
Yeah.
It
that's
is
fun.
gorgeous. I've been putting everything into it, like all the details, like spending so much time on something for me. It's been so fun and still allowing me to create and feel like I have a
That's
purpose.
what I was wondering, like, what can I do? And I answer it in our homework assignments, like, that's creative, but not with the pressure of work. Not with the pressure of, like, you need to do this to make money. Like,
Well, you're starting a little bit of a new venture.
Yes, thank you. I
You're
am
welcome.
starting a tea company that I started in 2020.
Not for money.
And I realized that a couple weeks ago we talked
Yeah.
about U-turns. I realized that was my biggest U-turn.
Wow.
Because I had the website up. I had all the designs done. I had everything except I didn't launch. And I didn't actually follow through. And my cousin and we were talking about how much we love tea, and we both were like, oh, that's our goal one day, to have a tea shop. And so we were like, oh, let's do it together. And I realized right now I'm actually fulfilling one of my biggest U-turns I've ever had.
That's so exciting.
So there's a lot of like doubts I'm having, but I'm like, as far as like, I want it to be as good as it is in my head in real life, but I'm like, just keep doing the work. Just keep going
Baby
step by
steps.
step, and don't stop like I did a few years ago.
The beauty is you are a beginner with this one.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any preconceived notions of how to do it.
I know, but we've read so many articles that are like, oh, look, this person started their tea company and now they make $600,000 a month. And so I can't compare to that.
Too much
either.
pressure.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of very successful tea companies
Who
out there.
knew?
Oh, tea is the number one drink in the world. Over
believe
coffee. Yeah.
Wow.
People love tea.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Anyways, I'll keep you guys
It's-
afloat on that. We haven't launched yet. But yeah, there is that, which is fun. That
Yeah.
actually brings so much joy. But I also was thinking, like we were talking earlier, like just making up dances.
You want to get back into that?
Well, I was watching Taylor Swift's backup dancers. And you know me. I can pick up choreography.
Oh, yeah.
So these little girls next to me also saw me like doing the choreography that they were doing on stage.
Yeah.
And I bet they thought, did she come like memorized with the dances? But I was just copying them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so fun to just like dance, because we grew up doing that.
Yeah.
And that is a part of me that has like dance competitions and performing with dance. So like that's a part of me that I love to do, but have never. I don't just do it for fun. I
Get yourself in a little hip hop class.
I don't even want to take the class. Is this weird? I just want to
Hold a rock and
I just
and
want to
dance.
be at home and full on perform for fun.
I love it. I challenge you to not put your phone up and record you.
I don't want to.
There we go.
I want to just pretend I'm Taylor Swift's backup dancer.
Sorry, can't talk right now. I'm just dancing.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Girl
that's
can
been fun.
dream.
Okay. Tasks.
These tasks took a minute.
They took a minute.
So we'll just give kind of some overview on them. The first one is tape your own voice reading the basic principles.
On page 3.
On page 3.
I think we shall read them to you now.
Yes. We have to go way back.
So I know you don't like to read aloud. But
I don't.
Would you like me to read them all, or do you want to
Yes.
switch back and forth? Okay. Basic principles.
We can switch back and forth.
Creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy.
There's an underlining, indwelling creative force infusing all life, including ourselves.
When we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives.
We are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves.
Creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God.
The refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature.
When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God.
Good orderly direction. As we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected.
It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity.
Our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity.
Doesn't that sound great?
It does. And I have got to admit here.
Tell me.
I have recorded many affirmations in the voice recording app and have stuck my headphones on and trotted through town listening to my voice, trying to manifest things.
Same.
And, okay, I'm just saying, if you record, any of these to yourselves that really stand out to you, along with maybe a few goals you have in the space that you've already achieved those goals, and you listen to it and visualize it as you're listening, things happen.
Can you name an example of something you manifested by listening to your voice?
I was doing it a lot when I was working with Lion Brand Yarn, and they were like, we want to create a yarn line surrounding your name. And I completely out of the blue was like, a big craft store is going to buy my yarn and we're going to launch, and my crochet hooks are going to be in people's hands all over the country. And at that time, I had no idea, but Joann's craft stores ended up buying the yarn and selling it in their stores. And I've always, been like, that was a big one, because I had no idea if anyone, like any retailer, was going to buy the yarn. And sure enough, they did.
Wow.
Yeah, that one stands out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You were in Joann's?
Excuse me?
Well, I knew you were in the other one in Philadelphia.
That was that was a craft store that no longer exists.
Yeah, what was that?
I forget.
I know.
AC Moore?
AC Moore.
Yeah.
I forgot you were in Joann's.
I was in Joann's.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
London, what a big accomplishment.
It was a big one. And I completely, put my whole hands in the universe for making that come true.
Because you were already living in the energy that your yarn line was a success, you allowed your energy to match the reality.
Yeah. And do you remember at the time you actually were helping me with work, and you put up that video of me cutting the crochet? I was on a TV show called Home and Family. This was right before the line.
I put up the video?
Yeah.
Me?
Well, let me not put that blame on you. Perhaps it was me. But anyways, the video went up on my social media of me cutting yarn. And
boy.
I got all these bad comments.
Oh, and then
Joanne was like, we may need to pull this.
And then did they?
They didn't. No, I was in it.
I don't remember much of this time, but I remember that.
Yeah, that was a big one.
London's been viral for negativity.
Okay, only a few times.
But that means you're big.
That means people are watching.
That means people are watching.
To say.
It's good to get to that
Haters
level.
Gonna hate.
But yikes,
don't cut yarn on
don't
TV.
cut yarn on TV.
That was not a good. I've never done it since.
Oh, the craft community was livid.
Livid.
Oh.
Okay.
But also, I was at Devin's, our cousin's, and
Yeah.
she has a 3-year-old daughter, and she was watching Pinkalicious, which is a kids show.
Yeah.
Guess who popped up?
Me.
London K.
I was on that show.
She was on the show, and Jake and Claire and Devin were all like, "What? That's London?" Anyways, I've got a very successful
few years ago.
sister.
Do I look that different?
They just weren't expecting you to be on Pinkalicious.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went around with children in Brooklyn, New York, and showed them how to yarn bomb. Okay. Write out in longhand your artist prayer from week 4. Place it in your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it slip out. I wrote a new artist prayer actually and put it in this book. I have to put it in my wallet.
I don't really have a wallet.
What? How?
I wrote it on my phone.
Excuse me.
What?
You don't have a wallet?
Not really.
What do you use?
You want me to show you?
No, it's fine. I believe you.
It's like a little change purse.
Okay, cute.
Okay, next, buy yourself a special creativity notebook. Oh, this was a long one.
This is a long one.
But we'll talk about it.
Yep.
Number pages 1 through 7. Give 1 page each to following categories: health, possessions, leisure, relationships, creativity, career, and spirituality. With no thought as to practicality, list 10 wishes in each area. All right, it's a lot. Let yourself dream a little here. That's what she says. Okay.
With these sorts of exercises, I feel like it's important to just like not worry if you're doing the exercise the right or the wrong way. Just let yourself go, because 10 doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a total of 70. And
possessions was the hardest for me.
Really? Leisure was the hardest for me.
Leisure, I filled up within 10 seconds.
I filled up. The easiest for me was career and creativity. But it is interesting which ones kind of...
All right, so let's not go through all 10
No, we
each,
can't read all of them.
but let's do 3 each.
Okay.
Devin said it helps her when we read our answers.
Oh, that's nice to know. Devin, shout out.
Shout out to Devin.
Thank you.
Our cousin.
Okay.
Okay.
Health.
I wrote daily workout ritual, meditation daily, meal prep were my first 3.
I wrote drink 8 glasses of water per day. Fun fact, I found out sparkling water is equally as hydrating as regular water.
I think everyone knew that.
Okay, well, in case you didn't.
Okay, good.
I eat healthy cooked food regularly. I take vitamins to boost my health.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I also have on my list, I clean myself regularly.
You mean like hygiene?
Yeah, which I do. So I was like, why did that pop up? I literally showered right before I wrote that. Okay. Possessions.
This one was hard for me. I put wardrobe to the nines, hair products, and nail kit. I mean, I have more. Audible books,
that's
air
fine.
fryer, comfy mattress, new computer, fresh
This one was
flowers.
hard for you. Okay. I was a little bit nostalgic. I have my brown jacket with pink applique. I lost it probably 10 years ago.
Oh.
I find my dance videos.
Oh. She's talking about dance competition videos. We don't know where they are.
We don't know where they are. Let's see. I have a house filled with funky art and furniture. Town and country, come on down.
Okay, great, London. Oh, leisure was so fun. Weekly massage. A book a week.
These are wishes.
Beach weekly. Hike weekly. Camping under the stars. Sacred solo retreats. Okay.
Aww. Travel in my life. Time with friends and family. Good night's sleep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not get that?
I just want to make sure that it continues.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, relationships. This one's dark for me, so I won't.
There's all kinds of relationships in this world, you know.
I mean, relationships. Release that I am not whole if I don't find someone to spend my life with.
Release it, honey.
Release that I'm not worthy of love. Release that I need to be on call all the time to friends.
That's sweet.
And listen, there's 10 things to release here. Those are just a few.
You started them all with I release?
Most of them.
Be
grateful for my time alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, how I wrote it is funny, but I said, like, I am my true self in relationships. I just want to be authentic. Keep open lines of communication open with family always. And I hope that marriage is better than expected.
Oh, good. Yeah. These are beautiful.
Yeah, you know. Creativity. I have a constant flow of ideas. I continue to improve my crochet work. I have plenty of time to play.
Number 1, play. Play. Mm-hmm. Number 2, set aside time each day just for myself to be creative. 3, paint.
Oh, Didn't expect that.
All of my creativity, none of it has to do with writing. It was paint, collage, garden, make teas, make essential oils, dance for fun, design a room space. Like, it was all just like fun, creative things. Is what I mean when I went back to like, what was I doing as a kid that was just fun without the pressure of like success.
Julia would be so proud of you right now.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's what I have to do is like, just like have some creative time
To play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Career. I would love a sponsor for my Love Across the USA project.
Ooh.
If you want to check it out, go to loveacrosstheusa.org and see what we've done. But I would love a sponsor.
London puts these huge murals
40 feet by 20 feet in size.
across the USA.
Over 120 people work on each one. They're a big labor of love,
Oh,
doing good for the world, but they are pricey and exhausting.
okay, a sponsor.
Woo!
Who do you want your sponsor to be?
Michael's.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a good
I think
one.
it'd be a great
Not
partnership.
Joanne's. Yikes.
You're right. I've already worked with them. I'm ready to go on to the next one.
Fine. Okay, next.
I would like more passive income.
That was my number one.
Really?
But passive income, not more. Good for you.
I wish to be happy doing what I love.
I feel like you already are.
I am. I just want
But
to
you
make
just
sure.
have stress.
I want to make sure it continues.
Yeah.
These are wishes. I
Oh,
just want to wish it
okay.
into forever.
Okay, I put passive income, 10K a month, a pilot written, a movie I'm proud of, a new hour I'm proud of, stability. I've got a lot. Okay.
Great ones. Well, you got to have 10.
Yeah, I've got 10 actually.
Spirituality. I remain zen in tense situations.
Do you?
I wish to.
I love that. That's
God,
good.
good orderly direction protects me and guides me.
Beautiful.
I breathe and say thank you.
So you wrote all these as affirmations. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Spirituality. I wrote pray, meditate, commit to learning about my spiritual self, moon rituals, morning pages, yoga, self-care walks, alone time, that type of thing.
All right. This was a fun one. I highly encourage people to do it. List
Yeah, it
each one
takes a
out.
little bit. Some don't take any
Some are
time
quick.
at all. But yeah. Okay, look at your honest changes from week 4. Inventory for yourself the ways you have changed since beginning your recovery. The ways I've changed, that I've noticed specifically, is I've given myself a lot more alone time, and I've given myself more of a routine. That's kind of falling apart now that I'm getting back into stand-up shows. I took July off. But man, was July just like very routine, very cooking my own healthy meals, doing yoga. I was writing more just from like having the space to write more. So that felt like a very big change.
Yeah. I wrote my changes as like lessons that I've learned throughout this book, like the drought will end, less focus on the outcome, enjoy the process, walks alone and observe, take care of U-turns ASAP, dream and manifest outcomes.
London. That's beautiful.
I love when you're proud of me with this
I
work.
love that. Okay, 5 ways I'll change as I continue.
This was so hard for me.
Oh,
I mean, I wrote them, but I say skip.
what?
Oh, okay.
Not hard for me.
Okay.
1, I'll be more dedicated to alone time that doesn't get interrupted. So I think what I have to do is each week at the beginning of the week schedule my alone time, because I've been scheduling it like monthly, and then
Things
come up, and so
Yeah.
like if my schedule's more in place each week that I can do that. Create for fun, not for money. Pray to God and trust. Meditate, continue saying no, and going to yoga and doing pages.
Lovely.
You skipped it?
No. Get clear on my morning and nightly routines. I do this, but cook healthy meals. It's just like enjoy the process of the cooking.
Sure.
Take more self-adventures. Ballet regularly.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fun. Was that 5?
it was 4.
Okay.
I have a question mark next to 5. Oh, you're such a good teacher.
5 ways you plan to nurture yourself in the next 6 months. Okay. I could have done like stuff that would have cost money because she says like plan vacations, all this stuff. I picked 5 things that I could do for free. So read 1 new book a week, a Sunday evening ritual to check in with my week, buy groceries, meal plans, schedule yoga and artist dates and all that. 3, schedule work 9 to 5 and be done after that. See what play happens. I really want to see, like she was talking about 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
If I literally just like sat at my desk from 9 to 5, got everything needed to be done, and see what play happens after. Listen to Michael Singer talk each day. That's this spiritual guy that I really like right now. And set up an altar for real, because she talked about it in this chapter.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, my room is my altar, but like, what if I just like had a little more fun with that?
I love that.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, I did get confused on the question, so I am going to read what I actually had for number 5. But I'm more open to play. I'm allowing myself to create just for the fun of it, and oh boy, is it fun. I've been cooking, gardening, and having fresh flowers in my house regularly because it brings me joy.
Oh, lovely. Fresh flowers are so nice.
They really are.
I got some flowers from Trader Joe's this week, and just 1 bouquet, but I cut
Sprinkled
them
them
up
out?
and sprinkled them out.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's really
I
pretty.
love sprinkling.
Okay, take out a piece of paper and plan 1 week's nurturing for yourself. This means 1 concrete loving action every single day for 1 week. Please binge. Okay.
Mine aren't binging. Swim in the ocean. Beach day.
I have beach day. Maybe we do it together.
Yeah. Family day. Maybe we do it together.
Okay, maybe I'm there.
Laundry and new sheets on the bed.
Oh.
You know I love that. Take a dance class.
Oh.
Cook a recipe from a cookbook that you've never cooked
Yum.
before. Get a car wash.
Oh,
Manicure, pedicure.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Long hike. Candlelit yoga. A day at the beach. Movie night with Chinese food ordered in. That I wanted
let's
to
do
do
it
with
together.
you. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that would be fun. Arts and craft night. I thought we could also do that together.
Oh.
Make bracelets. Read a book like Shady Hollow.
Should we also do that together?
Because I usually read self-help, but
Yeah.
I want to read a book like those.
A cozy mystery.
Cozy mysteries. And then make a homemade essential oil.
Ooh, fun.
Okay. Then write and mail an encouraging letter to your inner artist. This sounds silly and feels very, very good to receive. Remember that your artist is a child and loves praise and encouragement and festive plans. So I didn't send it in the mail. I wrote it in my phone. Did you send it in the mail?
No, I haven't yet, but I purposely did it on a page that I could rip out and send. So, yeah, it's always fun to receive mail and make it fun. Mine was more like, I'm an artist with constant flow of ideas and creative endeavors. I allow myself to create without pressure, just love. And then it goes on and on.
Wow, so you wrote it in the first tense.
Yeah.
I wrote it like, Dear Chase, I wanted to tell you that you're doing great. It's not easy what you're doing.
Oh.
It was more like that. It was a pep talk.
Yeah.
Interesting.
However it gets you going.
Yeah. Once more, re-examine your God concept. Does your belief system limit or support your creative expansion? Are you open-minded about altering your concept of God?
I said support. I'm open to expanding more than ever.
Okay, yeah, I think so. I said I've become a little more open to believing that creativity is a collaborative experience with the universe.
That's a good one.
I wrote this at Taylor Swift. I said to myself, because I was watching Taylor.
You were busy during this concert.
Oh, it was a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
I said to myself during the concert, I was like, look at Taylor. She wrote these songs and now she's singing them to like 70,000 people a night. There is no way I can ever think that my work is going to achieve that level of success. Like, that is so unbelievably realistic that it makes me want to not even try, not even put my foot in the whatever the saying is. But I was like, but aren't I allowed to collaborate with the universe just the same? Like, who said I can't play around with my creativity? I don't need to expect anything from it, like it resonating that much with so many people, but I'm still allowed.
Absolutely.
I'm still allowed to try to create.
And you're not supposed to think about the final outcome and the success. You're supposed to just create.
Yeah. So like, instead of being like, oh, I'll never get there, why even try? It's like, oh, I also get to do this. It's not going to be on that level, but we can still play.
Yeah, that's great.
And then she says list 10 examples of personal synchronicity that support the possibility of a nurturing creative force.
That was a little tough to do on the fly. Like,
a lot of things I had to go way back.
Yeah.
Like, one of them was, you know, the comedian Josh Waldron, who I work a lot with. I said meeting him was synchronistic because he, by knowing him, is how I got my Don't Tell comedy set and how I've like been doing a lot with Don't Tell comedy. And that was a very like, we met at an open mic. Like if I hadn't gone to that mic,
it would have never led to this.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things where it's like people I've met that have led me to certain things that like there's no way I could have planned meeting that person.
Yeah, that's what I was also saying. There's always someone to help. Like somehow when an issue comes up, you've like I've met somebody or done something that I can go to who's like the perfect person to like help guide a situation.
Yeah.
Also, I said meeting Danny, my fiance.
Yeah,
that was a real like it is a lot about like who you meet and
who you meet, and like that's never like plotted. Like, oh, I have to meet this person. It's just like, oh, you randomly meet this person,
and then it leads to this and that,
and then you can look back and be like, oh, whoa, was the universe like helping me out then? Like,
I think so.
You know. So
yeah, those were the exercises for this week, week 11. Next week, we got to have a party.
Next week, we're drinking.
It's week 12. Oh, you guys, we've made it.
My gosh.
I don't want to high five too soon, but I can't believe we've made it this far.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. We should go through the chapter, and then I wonder if we need another.
I think then we need like a recap. Yeah, for sure. It's a short chapter too.
Wow.
Yeah. So recovering a sense of faith.
In all these chapters, she does cover a lot of the same stuff.
I agree.
Over and over again. So
and I'm realizing that more this time than other times we've done it too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because we're paying more attention and really thinking it through more. But this has been really, really helpful.
It really
And thank you for all the positive feedback about the podcast. I've been hearing more and more people who are listening and sharing how that they've been doing the artist way or just tuning in to get any little tips or tricks that we've been sharing. And it truly warms our heart. I think, like, you know, the universe has blessed us with this podcast to be able to be here together and do this all with you. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please subscribe, and we won't let you down next week. We're coming back, week 12.
Okay, we're coming back. Bye.
Bye.